Okay, a little bit later than advertised. Jobs get in the way. I'm just going to try and get as much done as I can in maybe 3/4 of an hour on the B25 motor build-up. So barrel, piston rings, forget the head on, blah blah, maybe, hopefully. Thanks to those that spotted that I hadn't put the crankshaft drive side seal in. I didn't notice before I left because it was still on the bench, so that's back in. So let's just crack on and see what we can get done. So I've got camshaft and cam followers probably first, so don't forget them before the casing goes on. So I did mark these when I took them out. Not that it makes a great deal of difference, but just in case it does. And oil holes to the back. Now I've lubed it, they won't stay up. Lime on his back. Oil holes to the back. TDC. Bit of oil on the bush. Timing mark. To timing mark. Something like that. There we go. All lined up. So piston, gudgeon pin, circlip, so I've got something to push the gudgeon pin in with. So I did mark the piston when I took it out, but it looks like it could go either way. Looks ambidextrous. Generally on the C15, if it's got the bigger inlet valve, then obviously the piston reflects with the bigger indentation in the piston crown, but this is symmetrical. It's going to go back the same way that I marked it. So I'm just going to use some boiling water. So let me just put the kettle on. Which I have pre-boiled. So I've got my bucket, piston, just re-emphasise my mark, and I've left one circlip in. So that it's going to be going in from that side. So I've got new rings. It's plus 20 thou. So the rings are actually marked. The top and the second ring are the same but they are tapered, so they have got a top mark on them, so they're ready to go. So I think kettle's just clicked off. A glove would be good. It's going to be hot. So there's one of my TIG welding gloves, and just in case there is any water, which it should evaporate fairly quickly anyway, we'll just stick that in there. So I generally put them crown down and just pouring into the crown. Obviously aluminium is a really good conductor of heat, so it's going to heat up very quickly. So we'll leave it for a second. And we should be there, so I'm just gonna put a bit of jungle juice in there. And let's rock. So gudgeon pin should just slide in very easily if I get it the right way around. So I've just got it far enough so it should pick up on the conrod, hopefully. Started, so it just needs a push. A tap. So we're in. Happy with that. Yeah. Circle it. There we go. So make sure, for sure. There's my special tool, the goggles. Yes. And we're in. Happy. Okay, some piston rings. So there is no top or bottom to the oil control ring. Just a case of taking your time when you're fitting. It's obviously break very easily, and I have, by the way, I had 12 thou at the tightest spot and 14 thou near the top, so there's a couple of thou on the barrel, but not too bad, but well inside. I think it's 20 thou is the maximum what you're looking for of an engine of this diameter piston. So rings are in, so we're looking at obviously 360 divided by 3, 120 or whatever. So if I put bottom ring there, second ring there, top ring there, it's going to give me my 120. So unfortunately the barrel, even though it's an alley barrel, somebody had painted it black, and I've had paint stripper and all kinds of stuff on it, and that it's not too bad. The best I can get it. It would have been nice to grip blast it, but the stuff I've got, which I'm going to do the frame with, is probably a little bit harsh for this. So it's going. That's how it's going to go back. So base gasket. And I just going to put a bit of just a bit of Hylamar on there because I can. So I'm just putting a light smear on here. Just a tad, just a gesture. then we need our support. So it's just a bit of plywood, and it's just to stop piston being pushed down, and it just keeps it flat and square with the barrel. So jungle juice is important, very. So it has been, I've got a glaze busting tool, and generally just show you, should be able to see it maybe. Got my nice pattern on there. And now let's see if I can break a piston ring or two. Okay, so a couple of small screwdrivers, and let's see how we go, he said. Good. Might have to get a Jubilee clip around it. They are quite tough, these rings. Let's put, I'm going to see if we can find a Jubilee clip. I'm going to put you on hold. Okay, a bit of a cheat in the end. Jubilee clip. Obviously I couldn't get these in. If I could have got them in, I never got them out. But we're in. All the rings are in, looks good. So on the heaters just throttled back, which is a bit quieter. What are we on? 18.5 degrees. I can live with that. So, because there's not a great taper on the bottom of these, like Cub engines, C15s, quite easy, and even the B50, but it's only a slight taper on the edge, and plus it's got that scalloped shape. Really difficult, because I can normally get them in with a couple of screwdrivers, but not this time. So they can go back. Job done. So let's drop the barrel down. And we're down. So I'd be happy with that. Just going to remove the excess oil because big smoke on startup otherwise, but I'm not wiping any off the bore, so just the mating faces which I have cleaned. Happy. So I did strip the head, I pulled the valves, I've lapped them, cleaned them and lapped them. I've also cleaned the faces. I'm just going to give that face another rub with a bit of wet and dry. Happy with that one. Just another slight rub. So I'll be happy with that. Yep, gasket somewhere, can't be far away. Yes, so I'm just going to quickly anneal this. Only take a second, won't it? Well, I've still got the water. I know you don't need to quench after you've heated it up, but it does break off the slag, doesn't it, or the surface oxidization. The reason I take this matte gas bottle off every time is the valve leaks on it, so you'd only use it like twice a year. You come to get it and the cylinder's empty, so now I'm into the habit of just winding it off. Welding wire. Getting there. Tell me you're getting close when the flame turns green after it's coming off the copper. Happy. So there's a bit of oxidisation on there. Not a great deal, so I'll just give it a quick light rub with wet and dry, and then we're away. Happy. Let's give it a wipe with a cloth, with a fresh bit of paper. Final wipe on my barrel face. Again, either way up, because the oil holes are on both sides, the drain back holes. Happy. And we down. Yep. So I have cleaned I did find the cylinder head nuts in the end. They are, not saying these special washers, but they're very thick washers, because obviously you're pulling down on a soft material, so you want to spread the load as much as you can from the nut onto the soft aluminium head. So these are, unlike the C15, these are 3/8 UNF, but because it's BSA and the cylinder head studs that are around the push rod area are still cycle thread 5/16, because they can. So it's quite unusual to have such a mixture. So there you go. So obviously these inside ones are quite awkward to get to, so it's always worth making sure that you did do a good job when you clean the threads. You want to get them down as far as you can with your fingers, otherwise you're going to be there forever trying to get them started properly, etc, etc. So what are we on? 9/16, aren't we? If we're 9/16 AF, if we're 3/8 UNF or UNC. But obviously these outside ones are going to be Whitworth sizes, aren't they? So these are they're actually new nuts, these. The studs I've cleaned up. Again, thick washers, but the nuts had been to Mars and back. So new nuts. So these are 5/16 cycles, so these are 26 TPI, aren't they? Whereas our 3/8 UNF head bolts are 24. So I did look it up because I've had to write down the torque settings, but I won't be talking these two up because you can't get to them, can you? So should be no problem getting the push rods down there. So let's pull these down. So 9/16, and that's 3/8, isn't it? So I want my adapter 9/16. Yep. Oh, but I need my tool, don't I, for that thing? Forgot about that. Yeah, you need this is just an old spanner which has been to Mars and back as well, so we can get the torque wrench on. So I need to just quickly work that out, don't I? So what did I say it was? 26 to 28 for 3/8 UNF on the head. So 26 to 28 foot-pounds. So if we do that calculation now, it's only a bit of arithmetic, isn't it? So the length of that is 12 inches, and that end, doesn't it? Fifteen, 12. So calculator, I'm not going to do that in my head, am I? So 28 foot-pounds so it's going to be 12 times 28 divided by the 15, isn't it? Yeah. So the first length is 12 times the torque loading figure, which is 28, divided by the new length, which is 15, 22.4, so we'll call it 23 because we can. So 23 foot-pounds as opposed to our original 28. See how it goes. So there's the 20. What did we say? 23. There's our 23 foot-pounds. So I'll leave that one in for a second. I'll just nip them first. I don't need that now, do I? Right, so we're getting close. So nip, nip, nip. Okay, one more time. Okay. See how we go. May end up tilting the engine on its side for this, but let's see how we go. We're getting close, I think. Getting close now. To go put it on its side. Save dragging the bench all around the workshop. First click. One. So I need my opposite corner. Hopefully the camshaft will stay in. Fairly tight. Two. Okay. Back over. And the camshaft has fallen out. Yep. Okay. Back over. Nearly. Yeah. And down. Tight that. Wind them. Don't forget to wind your torque wrench off. Okay. Head is fitted and torqued down. Put the camshaft back in. So let's make it easy. Light on its side. So bring TDC. Exhaust holds to the back. Inlet holds to the back. Camshaft mark is there. So yeah. Yes. Push rods. So there's on a B25, they're different lengths. So the inlet one is longer than the exhaust because the the lobe for the exhaust is directly underneath where the rocker arm is, but the lobe for the inlet is further away, so obviously it's a hypotenuse of whatever the length and the width of the exhaust one is. So the inlet's the longer one of the two, and a damn sight easier to fit than an engine with separate pushrod tube, because then you've got the seals to contend with on the top and the bottom of the tube. So what I do, I normally cheat, and what I've done is I've painted a bit of nail varnish on one of them, so I know which one's what. And in my case it's the inlet, but I think some are marked originally at the factory, and I think they only put a blob of paint on the exhaust, but hey ho. So I did clean the face of this up as well, best I could. Again, it's been to Mars and back, this engine. I haven't pulled the rockers out because they did seem good. I have blown the galleries out, and I have got a gasket for it. So I'm going to be putting a little bit of a small amount of Hylamar on both the surfaces, and through the little hole at the back here I normally cheat, and I have a little, it's not a strong magnet, but the ends of the, obviously the push rods are aluminium or duralumin or whatever it is, but what I generally do is through the hole here, we're not going to do this on film because it's a bit boring, but I generally I can hold them in place while I push the rocker down, and the rocker then will keep it while I get the other one in, and then I'll bolt it up. So that's it for this one. So no need to see me putting the rocker box on, but next one we're going to be building up the gearbox. So I've got a new bearing for the sleeve gear, and unfortunately when I stripped this and I was airlining the casing out, unlike the earlier C15s, not the later or the latest C15s with the Fs and the Gs, this is a needle roller in here, and as I was blowing it out all the needles came out, so I managed to make a little tool to hook underneath the outer shell, and I managed to get that out. So I have got the bearing for that, I've got a new bearing for that, and obviously a seal. So maybe not tomorrow because I've got another couple of jobs on tomorrow, maybe in a day or two we'll be building the box up, and we'll build the box up and put the box in, and we'll be doing it unlike the C15 and the Cub, where we build the gearbox up in the crankcase and then we put the outer casing on. While the clutch isn't on, you can actually build the gearbox on the inner timing case and then just put the whole lot on. But we'll be doing a dummy build on the lay shaft and the main shaft first anyway, just to check the end float, that we're in tolerance with the end float. So that's it for today, because again it's coffee time, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you later.